Okay, so for characteristics, one of the main ones was love of nature, and that was pretty much because of the Industrial Revolution, and it shifted people's life from peaceful to chaos. And so Lord Byron was one of the many poets that emphasized nature in his poems, and we see a lot of that throughout the destruction of Sennacherib. To begin with, the poet uses imagery by saying the siren came down like a wolf on the fold, and he's basically comparing the sirens to capturing Jerusalem to wolves capturing sheep, and right there you see the nature that he puts into the poem. Another example would be when he says, "The sheen of their spear was like stars on the sea." And he's talking about the Assyrian swords and how bright they were while they were going to capture Jerusalem. Another example of imagery that he uses in his story is when he says, "The leaves of the forest when summer is green," which he's saying that the army stood out so much as they were marching to Jerusalem. Then he changes his tone and starts talking about how the leaves of autumn have blown. And so he uses a simile to create an image that there's all these dead bodies lying around on the ground like the leaves in the fall do. And then he goes on to talk about the dead horses and how it's cold as a spray of the rock beating surf. And it just gives you an image of like the ocean pounding against the rocks at the beach. So throughout his entire poem, you just see him giving examples of nature and images, and it's actually not shown in the biblical version, so it reflects the Romantic movement. Okay, so another important characteristic would be the belief in supernatural. So in the Bible, it focuses more on God's ability to care for people and teach us lessons, whereas Byron, he cuts out many of the parts that were actually in the actual story, such as the Isaiah's prophecies and the messengers talking to each other between the two armies. Because Byron disregards much of the biblical story and makes the angel appear like it's a sort of ghost or supernatural being, it makes it more of the romantic. It reflects more of the romantic movement in his poem.
From the 5 interesting facts to the background of our poet. It was honestly one of the hardest projects we ever done, but I hope you guys had fun learning about it, as much fun as we had researching about it. Well, that sums up our presentation for this evening. I hope you guys got the chance to learn and obtain all this new information that you guys never learned about Lord George Byron. So, guess that's about it. I get my wings, fly away.